What if we told you that the most effective temptations are not grand acts of evil but rather subtle, almost imperceptible deviations from virtue? This is exactly what C.S. Lewis illustrates in his profound work, the Screwtape Letters. It's a captivating exploration of the concept of temptation where evil often masquerades as good, or at least as harmless. Consider the idea that small errors, barely noticeable missteps, can gradually divert a person from their spiritual path. It's like walking on a path with a slight curve. You might not notice the deviation at first, but before you know it, you've strayed far from your original direction. This is the guile of temptation. It's not always about the grand, obvious acts of evil. No, it's the small, seemingly insignificant choices that can lead us astray. It's the choices that appear harmless or even good, but are, in essence, a departure from virtue. Remember, the subtlest temptations can lead you astray. Constant vigilance is the key to spiritual health. Did you ever consider your life as a battlefield where your soul is the ultimate prize? This is precisely the metaphor C.S. Lewis uses in his profound work, the Screwtape Letters, depicting the human existence and particularly the Christian life as a spiritual battleground. In this grand cosmic conflict, every soul is contested, a fiercely sought-after prize between the forces of good and evil, God and the devil. The letters exchanged between the senior demon, Screwtape, and his protege Wormwood offer us a chilling yet enlightening glimpse into how these malevolent entities might attempt to influence and corrupt us. But this isn't a tale of despair. Instead, it's a call to arms, an invitation to awareness. Recognizing this spiritual warfare that surrounds us, that's fought within us, is paramount in resisting the insidious forces of evil. It's a battle fought not in distant realms, but in the everyday choices we make, in the thoughts we entertain, the actions we take or avoid. Each decision, each act, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is a shot fired, a move made on this spiritual chessboard. The power is in your hands, in your will. Every choice you make echoes in eternity, shaping not just your life but also your soul's eternal destiny. This is the reality Lewis presents us with in the Screwtape Letters. So remember, your daily choices determine the eternal fate of your soul. Choose wisely. Despite the presence of evil, have you ever noticed the omnipresence of love and divine grace? In C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters, this innate goodness shines through, even when viewed through the lens of demons. It serves as a beacon, a lighthouse on the shores of despair, guiding lost souls back to the path of righteousness. The narrative is steeped in demonic discourse, yet the love and grace of God permeate the story like rays of sunlight through a stormy sky. The demons may plot and scheme, but the divine presence is a constant, a bedrock of hope amidst the swirling chaos. Surrendering to divine love, accepting grace, these are the keys to overcoming temptations. They are the lifelines that pull us from the clutches of despair and guide us towards salvation. It's not about perfection but about the courage to accept love, to embrace grace, and to keep striving for goodness. Remember, no matter how far you stray, God's grace is always available to guide you back. Have you ever justified your faults and sins? If so, beware of self-deception. This statement is a gateway to understanding self-deception, a central theme in C.S. Lewis's The Screwtape Letters. The narrative explores how easily we can deceive ourselves, falling into a slippery slope of moral justification. Screwtape, the senior devil, gives his younger colleague, Wormwood, a piece of advice that resonates with chilling familiarity. He tells Wormwood to encourage his human patient to justify his faults and sins. This tactic is aimed at promoting a lack of self-awareness, a state in which the individual becomes blind to their own flaws and transgressions. Why is this dangerous? Well, self-deception halts spiritual growth. It keeps us stuck in our ways, unable to see the need for change. It's like trying to navigate through a dense fog with a broken compass. Without a clear vision of our true selves, we wander aimlessly, straying further away from the path of righteousness. But then, how do we combat this? The answer lies in honesty and humility, acknowledging our shortcomings, admitting our faults, and accepting our weaknesses. This requires a great deal of courage, but it's the first and most crucial step towards spiritual growth. As we peel away the layers of self-deception, we begin to see ourselves for who we truly are. And only then can we start to change, to grow, and to become better. Honesty with oneself is the first step towards spiritual growth. Humility is your ally. Did you know that prayer, humility, and spiritual vigilance can be your strongest defenses against temptation? C.S. Lewis, in his profound work, The Screwtape Letters, underscores these virtues as essential tools in our spiritual arsenal. Let's turn our attention to prayer first. Portrayed as a conduit for divine communication, Prayer is more than just a ritual. It's a lifeline, a personal conversation with God. When we pray sincerely and earnestly, we fortify our bond with the divine, opening our hearts to guidance and strength. In the face of temptation, prayer becomes our sanctuary, a place where we can seek refuge and find clarity amidst the chaos. And then there's humility. Humility is the antithesis of pride, the very vice that Screwtape encourages his protege Wormwood to foster in his human patient. Pride breeds self-deception, an inflated sense of self, and obscures our true shortcomings. Humility, on the other hand, encourages self-awareness and honesty. It helps us recognize our flaws, our temptations, and equips us to deal with them. In this way, humility serves as a shield, protecting us from the dangerous pitfalls of pride and self-deception. Lastly, spiritual vigilance is a critical aspect of maintaining our moral and spiritual integrity. It's about being aware, being on guard against the subtle and not-so-subtle attempts of evil to sway us from our path. Like a seasoned soldier, we need to be alert to the tactics of our adversary. Spiritual vigilance is akin to keeping our eyes wide open in a world that constantly tries to blind us with temptation. In the grand scheme of things, prayer, humility, and vigilance form a formidable trinity of defense against the wiles of evil. They are our weapons in the spiritual warfare that Lewis so vividly describes in the Screwtape Letters. Prayer, humility, and vigilance are your weapons in the spiritual warfare. Use them wisely. In the Screwtape Letters, C.S. Lewis invites us to examine our lives through a unique lens. We've explored the subtle allure of temptation, the spiritual battle within us, the omnipresence of divine love and grace, the dangers of self-deception, and the significance of prayer and humility. These themes remind us of the complexities of our spiritual journey and the constant vigilance required. Let's carry these lessons with us as we navigate our own spiritual journeys. Until next time, stay vigilant,